Top of the afternoon, traders. It was it wasn't an uneventful day, but we didn't have anything that had any legitimate follow through to it because we're in some really boring range trading right here, and it could last to the end of the week, end of the month, until we get things kicked off next week with the new month. But let's go through itching for a trade. Let's go through and look at some of the majors and show the implications it's going to have on the pairs that we're going to look at, specifically New Zealand and odd pairs. The New Zealand USD, I talked about this a couple of times today. You can see that the pair has bounced around in this range, and today it went down and tested the bottom of the range, and it is going to make a nice daily close right about, well, it hasn't made it yet. It's looking to make a nice daily close on a nice candle pullback here, and if that is the case, we could see the beginning of its pushback higher, which you would initially target, and you move up towards the 78.27, and then you could get a little more ambitious, looking for a push up to the 80 area if that's the case. But how is that going to affect the pairs that we're going to be more interested in, specifically the Great Britain and the New Zealand? The Great Britain and New Zealand, these pairs are run opposite. If you have a New Zealand USD is falling, these pairs will rise. So you can see that these pairs are in the same exact spot, though, testing key resistances. The 2 level in the Great Britain, New Zealand, and the Euro New Zealand testing the top of its trend line here, which was up at 172. Both of these crosses fell about 100 pips actually rather quickly today with the price action that we had with this pullback here. So what do we have to think about here? Well, what we have to consider is heading into tomorrow, or actually even Asia. I'm going to be watching this heading into overnight trading. If we get a breakdown lower, that will be a trade that I'm going to be very interested in jumping into, looking for a continued push down, and that would obviously inversely mean a push higher in New Zealand USD. Same in the Euro New Zealand. Now in this pair, I'd probably be looking for a significant push lower, depending on how we close today. Below the 98.90 level here. Let me just throw the level on the chart right now. Below this 90. Well, let's just make it, give us a little leeway here. This 98.80 level. And that would be the level. Well, this chart didn't go on, the level didn't go on there, and that would be the level that I would be watching to see if there's any trades to jump into, jump in there with New Zealand strength. Now the Euro New Zealand also the same thing. If we look on a 15-minute chart, we can see that the pair has moved back up towards that trend line of 71. Let's go to an hour chart and we'll come up with a level that we'll be interested in. And this one, it actually looks like it's already below it, but if we can keep going into Asian trading, break the low, I guess, of today around 70, that could be an indication that we're going to get a little bit more follow through. And of course, we'd have to watch that, watch the vault, watch the moves in New Zealand, because that's going to give us our hints. So that's what we're watching. And there's another trade you could absolutely do here. You could just go long. With this New Zealand cross here, currently it's 77.95. You'd have to put your stops below the low on this wick, which would get us at 77.9. No, the low is 77.42. So you'd probably put it about 10 pips below that, so it'd be 77.32. You'd be risking about 60-something pips looking for a reversal. And I think if you wait and you play your cards right, we'll probably get a push back down to this trend line again, which would give you a better entry point in the short term, if that trade is to be considered. It's something I'm going to be keeping my eyes on for sure. Let's just look at a couple of the other majors. The Great Britain USD, you can see with this trend line break, we've been talking about forever that if the pair remains above 154.30, we could see a continued push higher. Well, the pair did break down, touched 154.30, and now has bounced. So once again, the 154.30 level might hold, or I thought the trend line break would negate that. We'll have to see. We'll have to see for sure. And but if we do get a continued push higher, this trend line would limit in the short term, but we could see a push back up towards 157.50. So until we get a push to the trend line or back to 151.40, the pair is a bit in no man's land. Let's look at the Great Britain JPY today, because I think it showed up as a trade possibility.
Great Britain JPY, you can see the pair broke here at 10.15. Everything looked nice about it, but basically it was so close to the low yesterday that I just waited on that trade, and this volatility has been horrendous lately. I mean, no volatility in these yen pairs and the euro crosses, because I mean basically the major masters here haven't been doing much. Until we get out of this 134.50, 133 range, it's going to be hard to find any real moves in the euro odd and the Great Britain and the euro New Zealand that isn't dictated by the other crosses, and they're dictated by the New Zealand and the Aussies, which are just basically moving things around right now. The Aussie, you can see, went down lower, but it couldn't gather any momentum, but still is below the 90 level, but still looking for a break of the 88.43 level to really confirm things on that cross. Great Britain odd, you can see the pair. I don't think there was anything in that today. Great Britain odd, you can see that the pair moved up, shot up, and gave back all of its gains from the move higher today, but that doesn't coincide so much with the Aussie, which just basically may have mellowed out, which shows us that in the shorter term, the Great Britain right there is still considered to be not 100% out of the woods, and this could just be a push higher. I mean, basically, we didn't get any new news out of. I guess people were expecting maybe a little bit more downbeat review in the speech today, and I guess it didn't meet the expectations. But basically, all we are is back at where we were yesterday. So I mean, this could seem like a giant push in one direction or the other, but it really might in the long term doesn't have that much effect. So what we're going to watch here going into tonight, New Zealand, this is key. This is what I'm going to be trying to key off, and I'm going to watch that for its set effect in the Euro, New Zealand, and Great Britain, New Zealand crosses, and the Great Britain JPY. We'll keep that on the back burner. As in the Euro odd, we're going to just be watching because we're up if we get a push back up to that 150 level. All right, everybody, good luck trading. Hopefully we can get some trades in here. That's driving me nuts. All right, talk to you soon.